Hello, my students. Professor Dr. Kimathi, and I'm welcoming you, the Gen Z. Remember, I call myself the Gen Z Senior. The whole point of teaching politics is to remind you what Isar bin Maryam said. He asked a question. If you cannot understand the politics of this earth, how can you understand the politics of the heavens, which people call religion? Now, I use the Bible, the Quran, because my students are one subgroup. We don't talk about tribalism because you see it has been mad by many people. We talk about a subgroup. We are talking of the Gen Z, not even generation, but we are talking about a Gen Z subgroup, which I am the Gen Z senior. In that, I teach you. Why do I teach you? Because I have no other people left of my age. They all have gone under. They have become soil, where God has taken man from. God has taken man from the dust, and he returns to the dust. So they are going back to the dust. And then I remain with no peer of mine. So I come back to the lower generation. And I fit very well as its teacher. Today is 4th, and I'm choosing this day, 4th of May, 2025. Remember, I have numbered my videos for future reference, because as a prophet, you expect my words and my teachings to be the truth. Why? Because I use the word of God, the whole of it, holy. For example, we have this Proverbs chapter 4, verse 18. What does it say? There are many versions of it, but I want to read the Berean version of the Bible, Berean Standard Bible, which says that the path of the righteous is like the gleam of the light, which gets brighter until the day dawns. The gleam of light means that the Kikuyu say, Wathereruka. Why am I choosing this word? Because as I speak, there is another people led by another Kikuyu person called Gachagua'S. They are holding a very big meeting at a place they have now come to call Wamonyoro. It is a place in Nyeri, next to another estate called Kayafa. Kayafa is where this man, Kwatenge, the former sacked special branch officer, you see, his intelligence officer used to be called like that. His mother was a Kikuyu and married by a Baruhia senior police officer, and sired a senior police officer called Kwatenge. So his mother comes from Kayafa. So next to him is Wamonyoro Estate. That is now what I'm talking about, because that is the place where the Kikuyus have called all the Bantus. The Kikuyu have called the Bantus because Gachagua'S, in his planning, is trying to pit in Kenya the Nilotic tribes against the Bantu tribes. A very bad scenario in politics, because he is saying that he has no agenda, a political agenda. That's not a political agenda, and if it is there, you are talking about bloodshed. Why am I saying these things? Because you know very well, you can see this scenario everywhere in Africa where there is war. Let us start with Sudan, where there is this Sudan Armed Forces, SAF, led by Abed al-Burhan. The Burhan himself actually overthrew the government. And this guy called Hemedit, he was actually leading a group like you would say today in Kenya, the GSU or the Reki Company, because it is a rapid, they call it RSF. RSF stands for Rapid Support Forces. So this man, after overthrowing the government, he showed this Hemedit how to overthrow the government. And this Burhan, realizing it, he wanted him to resign and to hand over his gun. This is now where foolishness is coming from. This man called Hemedit has a gun. And this Burhan has also a gun. How can you tell the other one to surrender? That is very foolish. If you cannot work together, then you agree to have zones of operation. But this man, Hemedit's place is full of natural resources like gold. That's why you see Ruto, our King Ruto, likes where there is money. So that's how he is associated with RSF. Because he wants the gold. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want the gold? Don't be hypocritical, Bwana. Everybody wants the gold where it is. So you can see now the lineup in Kenya. We are talking about Gachagua. I had printed it here. I'm talking about Nemesis. That in southern Sudan, the way they want this Kenya place to be, we have SAF, that is Sudanese Armed Forces, led by Burhan. Now, in Kenyan scenario, the nemesis is King Ruto. I said, my friends, don't be fooled by words. Look at the words as used in the Bible and use them like that. So don't say President Ruto, because others are being called so. In Kenya, we have King Ruto, a de facto king. What else would he do if he was a king, or if he was called a king? Well, if he is not a king of everybody, he is my king. He is mine. I own him, my king. So that he is like Burhan. And we have now RSF, Rapid Support Forces, led by Hemedit. You see, they write Hemedit. It's very difficult to sound. So I like saying Hemediti. I like saying Hemediti, because Hemediti. It's not catching very well, and I keep on forgetting that name. After all, it is not a name to remember. Because when he is shot and killed, then that will be the end of him. Now, his nemesis is Gachagua. So that it's only that these guys don't have guns. With this place in Kenya would have been, there would be a lot of blood. The same scenario. Right now, as I'm saying, Gachagua is at his Wamunyoro stronghold. I was told that there is even one guy whom they have bribed from the homestead of Ruto, Sugoi, and he has been invited. Only one guy, a very useless man. They are planning how one of them, of the Bantu guys, Kalonzo Musyoka, in his sheepish softness. There is another one who wants that leadership, a lady who is called Mother Karua. There is another gentleman called Gachagua, of course, and then Matiang'i. Now, why I am making this video is because of Matiang'i. Because next time I will bring you a paper that is stamped by the judiciary. When Maraga, his brother, was the Chief Justice, and I said I want to put this one as history. I have told this Kisii man, this subgroup clan called Kisii, Maraga, I told him, tell your brother that there in front, he will be craving to be the king. So it is now that he is the PS. It is now that he is in the security docket. The security people are under him. So tell Uhuru to hand you over that power. The guy shied away. I have the paper. The man, when he has left the power and rushed to United States with his tail between his legs because of fear that the one he was always blasting, King Ruto has taken over power. Now, when he realized that he is not being killed, he comes back and now he wants to take that power. That is why I'm saying that education does not make a wise man. You just teach a wise man like I am, and he becomes wiser. Otherwise, that is very foolish. That you want now power when you have given off your power. That docket that he has been taken over by my grandson. I'll call this young man grandson, Dr. Raymond Vike Ojwang Omolo. He is the PS of State Department of Internal Security and National Administration. Wamunyoro Gachagua, I am fighting him. He does not know me, I know him. We cannot be two kings of the Kikuyu. I said I have to bring down Gachagua so that I should be the de facto king of the Kikuyu after the demise of Uhuru Kenyatta. I said, there are not two suns which can rule, which can be in the sky at the same time. There are not two typhoons which can go running at the same time in the ocean. One has to lay low when the other one is passing. So I have to fight Gachagua because he's trying to take over being the king. And I'm using the administration which is there, wisely so, to bring him down. Remember what I told you I did the last time. I told him, through, of course, a proxy. Oh, prepare to be the king, because your friend Ruto is now, he is so sick, he's vomiting blood. And that is where politics is dirty, because you have to tell lies. The guy was not vomiting blood, but the guy, this Gachagua believed it because of his ambition. His ambition made him not to investigate whether it was a lie. He just went to Mombasa and opened his mouth and to say who he was going to sack. And one of them is Haji. Haji's son. Haji was actually my friend. We knew Haji when he was actually the DC Kiambu. And I told him he will rise very fast, which he did. We stayed with him at Mombasa. This young man, you are calling him the chief of the spies of Kenya. He was a small boy when I was visiting his father. So yes, my grandson, I would say, because I was older than his father, of course. But what I always digress, because so that I can explain a point. So I sometimes do it intentionally. What I'm saying is that now they are actually bringing Matiang'i, the Kisii subgroup king, to fight against Ruto. And what have I done? This politics is gameplay. It's like chess. I'm now talking. I'm asking Ruto. I'll talk to Ruto. And I tell him, Ruto, you cannot fight these guys. There are too many against you, because they are actually ganging up the Bantu against the Nilotic. Your subgroup, Ruto, is very small. When you look at the courage in fraternity, they are not, most of them are not even interested in politics. They're probably in the armed forces, but not just talking. They are serious people. They are true fighters.